So we are studying the first mantra, which is the Krittika Nakshatra mantra. So we also saw that in the last time that the Devata of Krittika Nakshatra is Agni. So this Agni Deva is actually part of the Krittika Nakshatra constellation. Of course, I also spoke last time about the story of the birth of Kumara and how the 6 of the 7 Krittika Devis, there were 7 Krittika Devis, out of them 6 of them actually feed Kumara or Shanmukha. That is how he became Shanmukha. This is Shivaputra. And I also gave the list of the 7 Krittika Devis, which is Amba, Dula, Nitatni, Abhrayanti, Meghayanti, Varshayanti, Chupunika. These were the Saptas Krittikas. The reason why I again repeated these mantras are later on in the Udaka Shanti mantras, we actually offer oblations to each one of these 7 Krittika Devis. So what are the characteristics of this Krittika Nakshatra? So let us look at the mantra. Agnirna patu Krittikaha. So the Krittika Nakshatra Adidevate Agni. May Agni protect us. So next it says Nakshatram Devamindriyam. So now the sage is talking about the characteristics of the Krittika. What are the characteristics of Krittika Nakshatra? It is Indriyam Devam. This Nakshatra Krittika Indriyam Devam. So what is the meaning of Indriya? It is all our sense organs. Deva means, I have given already the definition of Deva. Several definitions I have given from all the 10 ganas. Out of that, we have to choose the appropriate one. So what would be the appropriate interpretation for Deva here? Jyotanat Devaha. That means one who is shining. So how do our Indriyas have to shine? So this Agni Deva can become the shining principle of our Indriya. It is each one of our Indriyas must be capable of transacting, because the eyes must be able to see clearly, and such all the 5 organs of knowledge, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting and touch, all of them must become Vyavahara Yogyam. Vyavahara Yogyam means must be fit to transact with the outside world. Why should they be fit? Unless these sense organs are fit, we will never be able to understand the world. That's why they are called Jnanendriyas. So these 5, plus of course our mind, which is Manas, is also an Indriya. Though it is an Antar Indriya, it is an inner organ. So also our intellect or Buddhi, which is also an Antar Indriya. 5 Bhakyendriyas and 2 Antar Indriyas. Actually, other 5 organs are also Antar Indriyas only, though they have got a medium through which they interact. So these 7 Indriyas should become worthy of transaction. So therefore the 7 Krittikas, Amba, Dula, etc., they reside in the 7 Jnanendriyas, so that our Indriyas and our sense organs are capable of transacting with the outside world. So this mantra, Nakshatram Devamindriyam, is a recognition that by itself the inert Indriyas cannot function, and they have to be energized by the Krittika Devis, the 7 Krittika Devis. But the 7 Krittika Devis can themselves not function without the inhering Devata Agni. So this is the first one. And Nakshatram Devamindriyam, why should we worship, and then why should we expect it? Because it will also give us joy. Ultimate purpose of our use of all the indriyas is so that we can experience happiness and joy, isn't it? If the indriyas become worthy of transaction, but is not joyous, is not happy with its contact with the world, what is the use? In fact, it is going to make us more miserable than we already are. So Agni comes in. What does the Krittika Devis do? They just make our Indriyas transaction worthy. But the joy of the transaction is given by Agni. And therefore Agni is the Devata of the Krittikas, which is also the Devatas of our Indriyas. It should give in joy. So two purposes are there. For Agni energizing the Krittika Devi, and the Krittika Devi making our sense organs worthy of action, worthy of joy. Two things. One is Indriya Samarthya, that means the power of the Indriyas, and the second is Indriya Ananda. So both of them are possible only when Agni coupled with the Nakshatra Devatas, the Krittika Devatas, inhere in each one of our sense organs. Idam asam vichakshanam. Idam asam vichakshanam havihi. Idam asam vichakshanam. We have to borrow one word from the next line, havihi. Idam, this what? Agni. Because you see, it is a singular number, so we cannot apply that to Krittika Devis, which is a plural number. So this asa means mouth. In this mouth of this Agni, vichakshanam havihi, I offer the offerings capable of giving two things again, prakasha and samriddhi. Prakasha means the capability of my sense organs to reveal things. That is Indriya Samarthya, and it is also capable of giving prosperity. Because every single transaction we get from the outside world must add to our knowledge. Our jnana must improve. The real ananda is only got through jnana. Everything else is temporary. For example, we eat food, it is digested. We see something, it is forgotten. So, but then it is only knowledge which can give us joy. So, Indriya Samarthya and Samriddhi is possible only when we give the right offering to these Indriyas. Idamasam Vichakshanam means I am going to allow things from the outside world to enter into me only if it achieves these two purposes. That means even in the selection of what we hear, what we touch, what we smell, I am going to exercise judgment. Otherwise, if we simply think of this as a homa and use Krittika Nakshatra mantra and then throw some things into the sacred fire, it's no use. This yajna must happen all the time. All the time. Bhadram karnebhi shrunayama devaha. That's the mapping. Bhadram karnebhi shrunayama devaha means I am going to choose only what is auspicious to hear. And that is the perfect oblations offered to the Agni. Idamasam vichakshanam. Idam Vichakshanam havihi agnehe asam. In the mouth of the Agni, I am going to give such offerings which give enlightenment and abundance. Then the next thing that he is also saying is, because this is also a Purohita who is conducting the yajna. And the Purohita's duty is to guide the Yajamana or whoever is making the offering to exercise the same attitude. So he is saying, Juhotana. Juhotana means, O Yajamana, the one who is offering the oblations, you offer in this way. And this can also be an utterance by Brahma, who is supervising the yajna, and tell the Ritvik, who is making the Adharyu, who is making the offering, you do it in this way. Idamasam vichakshanam havirasam juhotana yasya bhanti rashmayo yasya ketavaha. So, what is this Agni that we are trying to worship? There are 7 Krittikas. Agni has got 7 tongues. That's why it's called a Saptajikva. So we will look at more about Agni. Here we are saying Yasya Rashmayaha Bhanti. Yasya Rashmayaha also can apply to these 7 Krittika Devis, because they are nakshatras. This nakshatra also sends out rays. But in that rays that the nakshatras are sending out, there must be the prakasha. Prakasha means the illuminating principle must be there. That illuminating principle, which is the quality of Agni, and so also it is the quality of the Krittikas, Nakshatra, let it shine all around us. Now, what is the philosophical meaning? The philosophical meaning is that whenever the wisdom shines on each one of our senses, then only we will be doing the right thing. Because darkness, tamas, is always associated with negative qualities, is always associated with the negative conduct. That's why we are asking for this nakshatra, the 7 Krittikas, and also Agni to constantly shine upon our sense organs all the time. Therefore, Yasya Rashmayaha Bhanti. We cannot escape the shining principle of Agni or the shining principle of the nakshatras. And how does the Agni adds another value to that? Yasya ketavaha bhanti. Yasya ketu. Ketu means, there are 2 meanings for ketu in Vedic Sanskrit. It is, one is flag, another is symbol. The symbol of existing of the Agni is the smoke. Yasya ketavaha bhanti. That's why Agni is also called as Dhuma Ketu. That is one who has a flag of smoke. This Dhuma Ketu Agni ima vishwa bhuvanani sarva. Imaha, these, vishwa bhuvanani. Bhuvanani means all the realms. Bhuhu, bhuvaha, suvaha, maha, janaha, tapaha, satyam. Because they are all existing. Comes from the Sanskrit root bhu sattayam vachi. That's the Paninian grammar, which defines bhu as that which exists. Bhu sattayam vachi. That means it is a speech which indicates existence. So the 7 heavens that exist, and all the 7 realms, bhuhu, bhuvaha, up to satyam, the flag of Agni shines through, the Krittikas, Nakshatras shine through, and may Ima Vishwa, Vishwa also means my own person. In Vedanta, Vishwa is the individual manifest body. Now, this also may that be completely illumined. That means whose flames shine everywhere, whose smoke is the symbol or glory of Agni, and then visible everywhere, who controls everything universally, and that Agni, Saha Agnihi, that Agni, Krittika Abhisamvasanaha. Abhisamvasanaha means surrounded by. Agni surrounded by these 7 Krittika Devis, who are themselves self-luminous. Agni himself is self-luminous, And Agni is visible through his glory, his radiance, as well as his flag. All of these things surrounded by this Krittika Nakshatra, clad by these seven. May they actually Devaha Suvite Dadhatu. This Agni Deva Suvite Dadhatu, may he give us and lead us in a noble path. Since he is never escaping, all the time he is around us, he becomes a constant motivator and a constant energizer for us to walk the proper path. You can also map this with the Ishavasyopanishad mantra, Agnenaya Supadharaye Asman. There also you will see Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidvan Yuyodhyasmajjuhuranameno Bhuyisthante Nama Uktim Vidhema. We offer our salutations to you. Pretty much this mantra is a commentary on the Ishavasyopanishad mantra Agnenaya Subadharaye. So Devaha Suvite, please make sure that you pronounce it as Dadhatu, not Dadatu. Because there's a subtle difference between Dadatu and Dadhatu. I think I mentioned this. Yes. Dadatu means let him just give. As soon as you give, as soon as you consume, it is lost. Dadhatu comes from the root Dhri Poshane Dharane. It nourishes and it also sustains. So the summary is, O worshippers, offer such oblations to Agni that generate glory and plenty. So whenever you are offering anything, even when you are lighting a lamp, in your house you light a lamp and then you pour ghee into that. When you are lighting the lamp, please remember this. Why are you lighting the lamp? It is so that you are asking, giving that as an oblation to Agni. And what does the lamp do? It shines. And then let that shine, that glory, let it generate plenty for us. And the seven constellations we talked about, Amba, Dula, etc., it gives eminence and power to my senses. And it is this Agni who is clad and clothed by Krittika. That's why Kritti means to be clothed. So we also call Shiva as Krittivasa. So he is clad. And it is also now very, very appropriate that his son is actually nourished by the Krittika Devis, isn't it? Also because what was the glory of the son Shanmukha Kartikeya, what was his glory? He teaches Omkara to his own father. So he was a guru of his father. That's why he is called Subrahmanya. The name Subrahmanya means one who taught the accurate Brahman to one's own father. And so this Agni that is clad around by Krittika, and Agni who is himself shining everywhere in the visible universe. Because Agni is a Bhusthana Devata. We will talk about more about his Bhusthana Devata. He is the one whose smoky flag flutter everywhere. May that Agni and the Krittika Nakshatra establish us in the noble path and lead us. So, Dyotamanam, Indriyapradam, Vichakshanam, Vividha Prakasha Sadhanam, Havihi Juhotana. If you want a Sanskrit commentary.
One more time.
Dyotamanam, Indriyapradam, Vichakshanam, Vividha Prakasha Sadhanam, Havihi Juhotana. So you are invited to offer such havis. For what purpose? Suvite. Suvite means sushtu prape. Is the Vigraha Vakya. Sushtu prape means so that we are properly led. So Agni also has many epithets. So here we will also choose some of the epithets. He is Vaishvanara because he is all pervading. He is the one who conveys our oblations to the various devatas, Juhotana, by our avis. So he is one Nihi. And then he is the one who is giving the power for our sense organs through the Krittika Devis, and therefore he is Vitihotra. Vitihotra means who provides nourishment and enjoyment to all our sense organs. He is burning all the time, so we can use the name Jvalanaha. And then he is the one who is possessing everything. We can use the epithet Jatavedas. Then he is the one who makes all our ignorance thin. He reduces the ignorance. So we also call him as Krushanuhu. These are all the various Sanskrit terms used for Agni. He is Krushanuhu. He is the purifier. So he is Pavakaha. And then he is friend of the prana, of the Vayu. So he is called as Vayu Sakha. Sakha means friend, friend of the Vayu. And then he is actually flaming. So he is also known as Shikhavat. Shikha means Shikar, Shiki means it is the flame in the context of Agni. And then he is the one who eats our oblations. So he is the Hutabhuk or Hutabhuj. And then he is one who carries our oblations. So he is Havyavahana. And then he is Saptarchis because of the 7 flames that he has got. He is also known as Saptajikva. And he is the one who removes our negativity. So he is Damanaha. That means one who actually tames our negative qualities, and is the bright one. So we call him as Shukra. And then he's multicolored. So we call him as Chitra Bhanu. And then he is rich in light. So he is called as Vibhavasu, and he is pure. So we call him as Shuchi. All these epithets of Agni can be used in the context of Krittika Nakshatra. So you have lot of synonyms for Agni when you are doing the Kavya study. Many of these are being used by the poets, so you will be able to immediately connect Agni.